The harmattan wind blew dust into her eyes as she hawked roasted plantain under the scorching sun. Abeni tightened the wrapper around her chest and pressed on. Her sister Temi had been coughing non-stop, and the last medicine from the herbalist had finished 2 days ago. They had no mother, no father, and the uncle who took them in treated them like burdens. Every night, he came home drunk, and every morning, he reminded them how their parents' death had ruined his peace. Abeni was only 18, but she had carried the weight of an entire family since she was 14. She walked past the new market in Agbale. Everyone said it was built too fast, funded by a rich stranger no one ever saw in daylight. But it didn't matter. Customers were plenty, and she needed the money. Her tray was nearly empty when she saw them, a pair of sandals lying on a broken stool by the roadside. Woven leather, glimmering beads, soles so clean they looked untouched. No one was around. Her eyes darted left, then right. Who could leave something so beautiful like this, she whispered. She looked down at her own feet, cracked, swollen, dust-covered. She thought about Temi, about the hunger, about how people mocked her for always walking barefoot. And in that moment, hunger defeated wisdom. She slipped her feet into the sandals. A strange warmth crawled up her legs. They fit perfectly. Too perfectly. She took a step, then another, and pain shot through her like a knife. She stumbled. Blood gushed from her heels, soaking into the ground beneath. She screamed, pulling at the sandals, but they wouldn't budge. They clung to her like skin. From the distance, a hawker shouted, "Don't wear what isn't yours." But it was too late. By the time she got home, Abeni had lost so much blood her lips were pale. Temi dropped the cup of gari she was holding. "Abeni, what happened?" Abeni collapsed by the door, her breaths shallow. "Sandals. I wore them. Now my feet. Temi, it won't stop." The little girl cried as she tried to clean the blood with her wrapper. The sandals looked more alive than before, the beads pulsing with a faint red glow. Abeni tried to rip them off again, screaming in pain, but they tightened their grip. Neighbors came running. They poured palm oil on the sandals. Someone tried to pour salt water. One man suggested holy water. Nothing worked. The village healer, Barber Iroko, was fetched. He stared at the sandals and shook his head slowly. These were not made by hands. This is the doing of a spirit. Abeni begged him, her voice cracking. "Please, do something. My feet, they are on fire." He mixed herbs, whispered incantations, lit cowries, and rubbed charcoal paste around her ankles. Still, the bleeding continued. He stood finally, wiping his hands on his wrapper. The spirit you offended does not want healing. It wants repentance. The bleeding grew worse as the moon reached its peak. Abeni's fever rose. Her skin was hot to the touch. Temi lay beside her, watching helplessly. Every few minutes, Abeni moaned in her sleep, her feet twitching as blood soaked the raffia mat beneath them. She dreamt of fire, of a woman with glowing eyes and no mouth, of sandals walking on their own through a forest of bones. The next morning, Barber Iroko returned with an elder named Mama Ifan, a woman known for communicating with spirits. Mama Ifan took one look at Abeni and hissed through her teeth. "Why didn't you ask before taking what isn't yours?" Abeni, half-conscious, whispered, I thought they were just shoes." Mama Ifan sat beside her, laid a hand on the sandals, then quickly pulled back as if burned. "These belong to Erelu Aika, a spirit betrayed and buried with wrath. Her belongings are cursed, and whoever wears them without offering must bleed for every step she took in sorrow." Temi asked with trembling lips, "How do we stop it?" "Only she can decide. You must go to her shrine in the Forbidden Grove and plead. If she hears you, she may free you. If not..." She didn't finish the sentence. The Forbidden Grove was a place children were warned about in lullabies. It was a thick stretch of forest west of Agbale, where even birds did not sing. Hunters avoided it. Farmers never cleared it. They said spirits walked openly there, especially Erelu Aika, the widow who buried her children and cursed the earth with her tears. Abeni was too weak to walk, but she insisted, "If I must die, let it be before her. Not like this." Neighbors carried her on a bamboo stretcher. Temi followed, clutching a calabash of salt, palm oil, and kola nut offerings prepared by Mama Ifan. The grove was quiet, still, cold, despite the sun. They laid Abeni at the foot of an ancient tree wrapped in red cloth and cowries. Mama Ifan poured the offerings onto the roots and began to chant. The air grew heavy. Abeni groaned. The sandals began to glow again. Then, a woman stepped out from behind the tree. She wore white. Her eyes were hollow. Her feet bled. "Why do you wear what I died in?" she asked. Abeni cried. "I had nothing. I was desperate. I'm sorry. I didn't know." The spirit knelt beside her. "Desperation is not permission. But your tears remind me of mine." She placed her hands over the sandals. And for the first time, Abeni felt coolness. Relief. But the spirit whispered, "To walk again, you must give me what matters most." "Anything," Abeni said. "Your voice. I need your voice." When Abeni awoke, the sandals were gone. Her feet were scarred, but no longer bleeding. Temi hugged her tightly. "You're alive." Abeni smiled, but no words came. Her voice had vanished. The villagers called it a miracle. They brought food, money, wrappers. For once, Abeni was treated like a blessing, not a burden. But her silence was heavy. She wrote on slate to communicate, and each word was a struggle. Still, she found peace. Temi's health improved. They moved into a small house given by the elders as thanks for her bravery. Years passed. Temi became a teacher. Abeni, despite her silence, became a storyteller through drawings, dance, and symbols. Children sat around her every evening to learn from her hands. And every tale ended with a drawing of a glowing sandal, to remind them that one step taken in greed could cost a lifetime of peace. She had lost her voice, but she had gained her freedom. And through her silence, a new voice was born. Thank you for watching this story. If it touched your heart, please give this video a thumbs up so more people can find it. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another emotional and powerful African story from this channel.